G'day, welcome back to my playthrough of Oxygen Not Included, as we continue to try and survive this crazy world. Thank you to Yoav, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, who pointed out, very importantly, that I have accidentally cut off my natural gas system there. Certainly want continuing to run. Noticing that. Okay. Trying to remember what my setup is and how I get the gas going for this. So the role is that the two of these connect into a single pipe that then filters out the oxygen and sends the hydrogen to this guy. So what we want then is we want our gas filter sitting somewhere where I can have a pipe sitting without too much problem. Which I guess is going to be there. As long as I can have a gas bridge, do that. But it doesn't look like it. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do then is build a gas pipe there. And then I'll remove this bottom layer so that this guy can then get up and out. No, that's wrong. Cancel that. This is very short cabling here. Actually, let's try and make these a little bit longer. So what we want is basically we want cable running up into that. So what we'll do is we'll have this guy running around that way, and then we'll connect this guy in there. Then we will have this guy come down there. Jump over that guy. And into there. Okay, and then all we have to do is, to make it easy, we can just click this guy, say, wait for the data save, say copy settings, and then hit that guy with it. Gas pipe are here, so we can say deconstruct 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a power wire. This guy making that one connection up. This guy making that one connection down. I was gonna say that we can close, but I realize that currently... No, this guy doesn't need to be doing anything now, right? Pumping out air that we... Or is he still getting natural gas? That's right. He is still grabbing natural gas in what he's pumping, so maybe... we'll leave that open for another brief moment. Because as long as... I mean, if he's pumping out carbon dioxide, that's fine. There's a tiny little bit of oxygen in there, but you can see there's still also a tiny bit of natural gas and of chlorine. So if he's getting that out, then have at it. It would only be if the oxygen got low enough that it's a problem, but I don't think that's going to be sticker bombing away. Still got plenty of these guys coming in. Long route to get down to this part now. I do have, how much plastic have I got? About 7 tons of plastic. I could really look into genuinely having a tube system now. Let's just take the glass, I guess. Alright. Still plenty to do with this guy. So that guy up there's... Well, we've gotten... no, I thought we'd got him started. We haven't. Well, no liquid intake. That's okay. We don't want that guy starting yet. No gas output. Cool. Again, that's... Is that being worked on? No. Right, so... What we now want to consider is where do we want the oxygen from this guy going? I think we'll go... Well, firstly, he can go up. And then up through this wall. And he can take control of that. We will then say deconstruct. We are just saying gas pipes 1, 2. So we'll take some of the burden off this guy. Secondly, we just run, I suppose we just run him straight up into this. So we say ventilation gas. So for now, at least, we're going to say go into there. And we're going to say just don't know if that's going to hit that at a weird point. I think what we'll do is we might redesign this section. So we'll say deconstruct 1. We're not going to deconstruct it until we've actually built new layout, which is going to be straight across there. But we will build gas bridges into this. Cancel. Let's cancel that. And we'll cancel that one. So that we are acknowledging the direction that this thing's going in. And hit that pipe there. And then go like that. So once that's built, we'll then get rid of this set of piping here, which also will be nicer because it's not going to run through the back of that guy's room. Those two, this guy's started like pumping too. He's pulling the same sort of crap out of the air. So maybe let's do that, and we'll say deconstruct those two gas pipes momentarily. And we'll let him just sort of like, two of them can pump stuff out into the world together. Maybe let's put one there so we remember where we're meant to be going. Cool. And so with that done, we can then say deconstruct those guys. That means that we're going to double, or hopefully double, the amount of oxygen that we've got going up here and helping out the northern things, where you can see there's very sparse oxygen at the moment, and doubling up the stuff that we've got going over here. So definitely plenty of assistance required in those. Okay, so now we can see that this is predominantly oxygen that they've got. Great, so we can now say deconstruct all of that. He needs liquid intake, so we need to go that guy in there. And then we need to go look at plumbing. Did I remove that on purpose? I don't think I did. I think that at the same point I got rid of natural gas. I've also... Although that's not for anything. That's just this guy pumping down here. So we should probably deconstruct that. Let's cancel that. No, because that guy's using it. Right, so we go... what we can deconstruct is all of that. And this guy. Sometimes it's... Ah, yeah, cancel that. There's this water here. If I need more, I can dig that out, get him to cover it. So that's fine. But we do need this one piece of plumbing because that is looking after this guy here. He's taking that. Okay. There wasn't electricity or anything in that same one spot that I've damaged, is there? No, good. Okay, so the next thing that I need is plumbing. We need this guy to get water. So we can probably just grab it from here. A little bit earlier, just so that the two of them have their own little bits that are sort of theirs to control. Having a look at this too, just while we're looking at this, we can see that now that we've cancelled this guy taking any of the water and how long we've made this, there's a fair bit of line there that does hopefully mean that this guy is clearing this. One thing I'm actually noticing there though is there is still germs in this thing. The point of this was actually to clear the germs. Or was that just saying, no, sorry, the chlorine's got germs in it. That's okay, the water doesn't. Yeah, we're all good. So what we can also do is we can now set both of these doors to auto. In fact, we quite urgently want that door shut. Thank you. Trying to remember part of my setup here. They do still get repaired. We also want to sort of clean up the debris in there. Yes. Okay. So this guy should all now be off and running. Our insufficient oxygen generation should hopefully now take a turn. And we also did, as part of that, reduce our carbon dioxide in there as well, I think. Probably up to about here. Okay, so we've cleaned that a fair bit too. Okay. I think that we probably need to give a second person a priority on looking after the animals. So our current guy is Hassan. Nails has been around for a while. At some points available. Nima has heaps. He's not got much going on. Yeah, what do you do? Fighting as well, and you're also super digger. Ranching. Yeah, we got heaps for that. So let's go. Ranching. And then we'll go priorities. I'll go Camille. Get rid of your priority there. Make you a very high priority rancher as well. Get two of you going on that one. Actually, what I'll do too, just to make sure that I've got things sorted, I'll make sure I'm on top of it. We will make you a. We don't want you to have the same hat. We'll give you a hat. Someone is using that farming one. What's the difference between these two ranching hats? That one's got a brown bar on it, so I'll let you have the brown bar one because the sun's got the black bar one. Gives a little bit of distinction between the two of you. Okay, there's your big hat. Not liking the bristle blossom. Alright. someone did also ask that I take the time to remove all the uh, tubing and so on that isn't in use. And I'm in two minds about that. Sometimes I look at it and go like, well, that's something that I could like use later. Like, say, all of this pipe, this plumbing piping here, I assume it's probably impacting some people in terms of like prettiness of what's going on. But on the other hand, if I ever have to build, like, use it, it's already there. So I'm more than willing to hear opinions on this. Should I be removing all of this, like my excess piping that's no longer being used? Should I have a look through the different sort of layouts of electricity and see if everything's like right and so on? Now, just quickly on this, we're not using this guy currently now doesn't have anything being used. He is now pumping away, but he's not attached to anything. Should we attach him to? Can I overload a circuit if I connect too much electricity to it? Or is it that I can overload a circuit if I overload a circuit if I finish the end of this thought eventually, I promise. Well, I mean, these guys are all attached to this thing at the top. So maybe what I should do is come down here. Rerun this wire so it goes down sort of like that. So that I can clear this out to allow these two guys to get out. It's a long walk, whoever's going to end up going down there, and it's also currently nighttime, so it could be a while. And then what I want to do is run this up to here. I mean, run it up to there. The only issue that creates for me is it means that it won't run unless it's running. Seems problematic. But if it ever stops, it won't start again. I mean, auditing the power wires seems much more valuable because there's a lot of copper wiring that'll be about. That if it's just being wasted, then like say this, that's currently not being used for anything. You can clearly see that. So let's whoop, get that out. That power wire, that power wire. It's funny, that pump's sitting there on the off chance it ever gets used. It never has been. I think, are those guys dead now? Really good to see this system off and running. Who's scolding? Okay. Mel, why are you in there without... Wait, why is it so hot in there? Oh, did you go into this boiling hot oil? Really not ideal, darling. Yeah, get out of there. There you go. Go pet those animals, please. Just notice there's parts of this roof that haven't been built. Oh, we've lost the music again. Something I had to address last time. But, There we go. So, I mean, we still have two guys going in here, as well as, I think, a third guy that we pulled early out of that. So I'm not too eager to keep guys going. So I can see that we've gotten a whole bunch of regrowth in here because we haven't gotten these doors working yet. So can I... Cool. They all work, but, I mean, if I want this to take off, they're not gonna... They have to be out of the way, right? Also ask for all of that to be removed. Copy this guy and they build up there to try and get to the top of that. Although it's regrowth, so once we get to there, that'll be done anyway. Dig out that, please. Just need steam. Where's my steam vent? Is steam going to cool in a... Steam going to cool in a tube? Because, I mean, you can see how fast it's coming down too. I didn't realize that sound... I thought that sound was just the sound of the vents closing. I didn't realize there was something stuck on repeat. Apologies for that. I wonder how much steam I'm gonna need. Let's think about this and what I can do with this guy. I realize that he's dripping in extremely hot water. Like that water there is at 94 degrees. So it's already very hot at the point it goes in here. So if I was to add water to this system, especially if I added a lot of water, it's going to cause steam problems immediately for this thing. Unless I had it going on a real, like it was this water from up here. Which I could possibly do. Get a guy up there. I think so. We go. We put a pump here. Firstly, we're going to have to dig out those two. And we'll just put ladder there. Put a pump there. And then we say that your job is to pump water from there. Oh, that one, cancel that one. Again, see, I'm making the steam way too far away. I think that's my problem. Let's think about this on this top side. I feel like what I need to do is build a similar thing to this somewhere else, much closer. I think someone did mention on a video a while ago there was a way that I could move steam without it cooling. Maybe I have to revisit that. Really tricky because I don't necessarily want the cooled water that the aqua tune is going to be passing through. But I also don't want the aqua tune to start sort of freezing over. So I can't just keep putting the same liquid through it. I just basically need something that's sort of cycling water. The way this feels like a pain to solve. So in the vacuum of space up there. I mean, we can fix that by putting in, I guess, these drywall. I assume that gets rid of the vacuum of space. Yeah, I might have to go back and look at what the suggestions were. Okay, but we're back down here. We've got our conductive wire. So let's run this guy up here. That. We can deconstruct those few there too. Deconstruct that. Or is it he's feeling the overbearing? It doesn't really do that much. That it's strained. Oh, I suppose it's just that one, isn't it? That's coming down here and doing all of that. Well, what we could do is we could connect this guy. Oop, cancel that. That's not what I want to do. We could please make this guy here, and then what we could do is run this guy there. Is that where I was just asking to delete stuff? Then ask to, once that's connected, we'll ask to deconstruct that. Then what we can do is we'll wait for this guy to get all of that built, and then what we can do is we can ask to deconstruct this section. So we split the work between those two guys. He's got no power consumers because it's not connected yet. Alright. I want to jump the gun on this because we want to go... We don't want that to stop. So, there we go. Well, he's still complaining about his power consumption. Let's just be this that he's struggling with. The question is, should I shift this pump off his work as well then? Oh, I guess we've taken the critical part of him. And that pump down there. So hopefully that's... So now what we're going to do is... This guy's operating that and this stuff, which is all small. And then this stuff. Now, what I want to do is deconstruct that one there. That power wire, we're probably going to say this is an emergency if that whole thing's overloading. Okay. How does that then... Means that everyone's a little bit happier. That one occasionally goes to strained, but... I probably could have given him all of that too, because there's only those two little guys. Mainly these that are his big lifters. Let's yeah. Let's put that back. And what we'll do is we'll deconstruct. That one can go because it's not used. And we'll deconstruct that. And I will put the order in for that to already get deconstructed, because I don't think it matters if this one piece up here doesn't get rebuilt before this gets deconstructed. Then it's just these guys that don't operate for a brief moment. Oh, we've lost everything. Did you fully die? Alright, well let's cancel those for a moment. Someone's made a mess, so we better go check to make sure someone's not stuck somewhere. That wire we're now going to say is an emergency. Alright, so we've got to dig out this and... There's two of them on there? Right, focus up, guys. Get down there and... Don't have a chat. Save your lives. Thank you. There you go, you can get out. Run, girls. Sorry, back down to here. Currently isn't being used either. What was the mistake there? Was it just that this guy ran out of power and then it's only got the one battery running? Wait till that battery's on, he gets charged, which will be a little while. Moment. Interestingly, these batteries aren't charged at all. We don't have any complaints about the amount of oxygen. I think the star map's idle, so we may as well start analysing the closest. Oh no, we've got one more up there, so let's go him. Alright, we'll have to solve what we're doing here with the electricity though. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that decided that it wasn't running. Like I said, I do see a problem in potentially having the power, like the guy being at the mercy of the one that's he's running off. I would delete that one, but I'd say we're at our time here, so that'll be experimenting next time, unless someone gives me a good old suggestion. And I will have a look at what nah, no one today. I will have a look at what trying to remember to have a look at what the comments were for what my best way to get steam up here was. There was some sort of particular way of doing the ventilate, like tubing up there, I think. All right, but until next time, any questions or comments, feel free to check them below. And Let's get some mopping going for our poor ladies and their experience. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.